goes. All right. Happy Monday evening, everybody, and welcome back to the show. Sorry about last week. I had to very suddenly stop the show right as I was just about to start, and everybody that follows my Facebook page knows that we had a loss in my family. My stepbrother is no longer with us. So thank you to everybody for your understanding and for all the nice thoughts and messages that were left on my channel. It was very much appreciated, and the week off from the channel was great for me and my family. So thank you again for everybody for your support, and I'm looking forward to getting back into my channel here this week, beginning with another Monday Night Live for me. You can put them right in the chat window, and I'll get to those during the show here. Otherwise, I will get right into what's going on the AFR tabletop. So first up, I've started my newest project, and I'm really happy. It's with my favorite game, History Maker Baseball, and I had this start coinciding with the release of the Series 3 of the all-time franchise great set for that game. And what I'm going to do is a double elimination tournament with all 24 teams that are available. And I'm already 8 games into the tournament. I did a random seeding, so there's I think 6 teams that got a first round bye. And so I'm looking forward to getting to the second round of that. I'll show you my, let's see, so there's a sneak peek at what's going on so far. Oh, got it all the way up there. There we go. So so definitely some highlights from that first round. Doc Gooden threw a complete game shutout against the San Diego team for the win. So far, he's the only pitcher that has thrown a complete game. But the most exciting game that I had was the last one that I just played between the Washington / Montreal franchise playing the Houston franchise, and had Pedro Martinez going against Mike Scott. So it was the 97 Pedro Martinez against the 1986 Mike Scott. They both had perfect games going through 4 innings. Pedro walked somebody he gave up a single in the 5th, but he still had a shutout going. Mike Scott actually took a perfect game into the 6th inning, and then he walked somebody, ended up having 3 walks, but still had a no-hitter going into the 9th inning. Unfortunately for him, his offense hadn't scored any runs, as Pedro had a 9-inning shutout, and he did end up giving up a single in the inning and got yanked, so he didn't even get the full complete game. But his team did manage to rally, and finally in the 13th inning, they scored a run to finish the game. And so that was pretty exciting and a really good way to end the first round of that tournament. Starting hopefully this week, I'm going to try to get a couple of videos out on the channel highlighting those games, and I'm probably going to do at least a couple of full playthroughs on those games, especially as I get closer to crowning a champion. So that's really been a lot of fun. I can't believe it's June, and this is the first time that I'm getting History Maker Baseball onto my tabletop. Just been kind of a crazy year, and that's the way things go sometimes. Is games that are your favorite, you don't end up getting around to for whatever reason. So those 2 other projects that I finished this year, I finally decided I'm going to do something with History Maker Baseball. So that's what's going on my tabletop right now for projects. If anybody has a project they're working on, you can leave a comment here, and we can talk about it here on the show. I did want to highlight a couple of projects that are going on from people that I follow. If I can just get my my screen up. Let's see. And that wasn't it. Just a sec, guys. Oh, jeez. Well, you take 1 week off from this and you forget how to do things. All right. Let's see. I guess I have to add. Oh, goodness. Okay, well, maybe I won't show you my screen. Sorry, guys. I'm not sure why I'm not able to get a camera shot up of my desktop. There we go. Oh, okay. Sorry about that, everybody. One of the joys of live streaming. Okay, so let's. Oh, we'll be talking about that later. Okay, here we go. So first up, friend of the show, Ron Emch, has just put out a video talking about top of the stretch horse racing, and he did a full race. He does a really good job breaking down how to read the cards and how to play the game. So you can give that a chance. Just look for top of the stretch horse racing demo full play, and then it's Ron's channel there. And then the other project that I wanted to show you is on the baseball demos channel. So it's a friend of the show, David, and he is doing a full season playthrough of the 1987 Atlanta Braves using History Maker Baseball. So he's up to game 3, and it's just really interesting. It's he wanted to really test out the game engine, playing it through a full season to see how it held up, and he wanted to pick a team that was one that he remembers from when he was a kid, and so it's definitely a unique choice. Probably not a lot of people have fond memories of the 87 Braves. So if you get a chance, check that out, and definitely at least watch the first game that he played, because he has a nice little montage of the TBS presentation for what they did that year for the Braves. So I won't spoil it here. I'll let you guys look at it on your own. So, David, definitely keep up the good work on that. I've really enjoyed watching those, and as always, I love seeing History Maker Baseball played out by fans of the show. The other project that I wanted to, or not another project, but actually just a news item. I'll have it on the news tomorrow, but something I wanted to share with you guys tonight is over at Diggin Deep Sports. Rob Lennon just had a sale start. Actually, not even a sale, it's a giveaway in memory of the passing of Muhammad Ali. And so he's actually giving away the PDF version of his Digging Deep boxing game, as well as the all-time greats card set. So if you have a good printer, you can get that game absolutely free, as well as the all-time greats set. So that's actually what I had up here before. Let's see if I can bring those back up. So these are the charts for the game, the cards that you can download and print yourself, and then of course the all-time greats set. And there's Muhammad Ali's card in the Digging Deep boxing format, as well as some of the other all-time greats that you'll get with this set. So, as I said, just a little sneak peek at the news tomorrow for my viewers here on the Monday night show. All right. Let's see. Do we have anybody in the chat room yet? If anybody's on, let me know in the chat room. Let me know any projects you guys have going on or any questions on the show, and I'll get to them here. Otherwise, we'll get another sneak peek at what's going to be coming up in the channel, and that's going to be my next review. And so I just got this in the mail today, coming all the way over from Spain. It's Soccer City, and so this is a kind of an interesting game. It's a 2-player game. You get nice little meeples here that you have to put stickers on, and they actually have a front and a back for the guys. The goalkeepers have their own miniatures. It comes with some really nice cards, really nice setup. So I'm really looking forward to putting that game through its paces, showing you guys a review of the game, and then maybe even doing a full playthrough of that. Of course, the only thing about this game is it's a 2-player game, so I might need to enlist the help of a friend to do a playthrough of that game. But I'll definitely be trying to do a review at some point. I don't want to put a date on it because I never want to rush a review of a game until I feel I've played it enough that I can, give you guys a full rundown on it. But hopefully within a month, I should be able to get that review up, and I'll keep you guys posted here on the channel how that's going, my thoughts on it as I get playing through. I'm curious, has anybody played that game? It was on Kickstarter last year. They had a good, successful campaign. They just got it out to backers, I think about a month or 2 months ago, and it's gotten some really good reviews so far over on Board Game Geek. Some people have written reviews. They've actually put out already an FAQ for some of the problems that have come up with people, and they're already working on doing a revised rule book because the designers of the game, English isn't their primary language. So there were some ambiguities, some vagueness in the rule book that initially comes with it that people were having a problem with, but once they got translated, that seemed to I guess help those issues out. All right, so we're getting some questions here. Mike Grummert's here, Bob Hansen, guys, thanks for showing up. It's good to be back. Let's see. Any thoughts on the all-time franchise set 3 for History Maker Baseball? That's a fantastic set. Of course, they're all really nice. Here, actually, let me grab one of those cards. Okay, here, so I'll show you. So the all-time franchise set 3 is the first expansion era of Major League Baseball. So we get the Houston team, and this one just has some really nice colors on it. That old Houston orange, Roger Clemens 2005 card. Of course, the Killer Bees, Jeff Bagwell's 94 card. Craig Biggio gets his 98 season carded. Let's see, who's some other interesting characters. So there's the Mike Scott card. He pitched a good first game for sure. And it was actually Nolan Ryan who came on and picked up the win in relief. Where'd Ryan's card go? Oh, there he is. That's it's a 1981 and Nolan Ryan there. So that's a really good looking set. And then the New York National League team, the Mets. So there's Tom Terrific's one of the great pitchers in the set there. The 2000 Mike Piazza catching. Of course, you got the kid in his 85 season. Going back, let's see, the 1969 Cleon Jones for any old school Mets fans out there, and then even a 68 Jerry Koosman in their pitching rotation. Let's see, Doc Gooden, his 85 season, won the Cy Young that year, and the timeless Jesse Orosco, his 83 season. So he was just a youngin' at 26 that year. So, but yeah, so if you liked the first two sets of that all-time franchise great, you're gonna absolutely love the third one. And it's kind of neat actually seeing now some players getting carded on multiple teams. Gary Carter is on the Mets and the Expos Nationals team. Gary Sheffield's on a couple of cards. So, and then Goose Gossage, I want to say, is on 3 different teams. So it's really great seeing players like that that perhaps younger players now didn't get to see either in their prime or even at all before they retired. So it's great seeing them on the tabletop, and especially I just love the backs of these cards that are made to look like old, like mid 80s, I guess, Topps cards. Love the color on them, and a really great way. If I'm showcasing this game to somebody for the first time, I will always play a game with the all-time franchise greats, because it's so easy to just ask somebody what their favorite team is and say, here you go, here's all the best players from that franchise carded for their very best year. So there's no real weak spots on the team. And actually, one of the most interesting things about playing a game with those is setting your starting lineup, because you end up having to put some people on the bench that are really good players. I've had a couple Cy Youngs or a couple MVPs sitting on the bench for games and having to come in and pinch hit. But that's one of the reasons I wanted to do a double elimination tournament, just to make sure that each team is going to play at least twice. So I'll have a chance to get all of the great players out on the table at least once for one at bat, or come out of the pen at least once. So yeah, definitely. If you guys have played any of those all-time franchise greats, pick up that set number 3. And if you haven't played any of the all-time franchise greats, well, this is a good chance to be able to get a bunch in one fell swoop. Let's see some other comments. Yes, Bob, I will definitely put links for everything that I'm talking about tonight in on the show here. The Soccer City, I'll post a link to the Kickstarter page, and you can get all the information from there. And of course, you know where the all-time franchise greats cards are. Yes, those cards look absolutely fantastic. I think the only reason that he doesn't do cards like this for the regular season sets is just because they would be so expensive to do, with these cards. What's the most that he has out in one set? I think they're like 8 teams, and that costs almost as much as a full, or actually I think even more than a full season does right now, the way he prints them out. But definitely, maybe at some point, if enough people ask for it, he would do some kind of super duper season set with them all in color like that. Of course, then just the amount of writing that it would take to put that blurb on the back of each card. I can't even imagine what kind of time commitment that would be to go through. So, All right. Any other comments here? You guys got any projects? Bob, let us know in the comments how your short track racing is going with the red, white, and blue. If got any more developments on that, or if you're ready to release that at any point, the newest version. Take a little drink break. All right. So I did want to highlight a couple of other things here. Let me go back to my desktop. Okay. Let's see, where are we at? Okay, so over on Kickstarter, there are a couple of campaigns going on. One of them is Championship Formula Racing, and they just passed the halfway mark of their funding goal. So this is a Formula One racing game. It's kind of similar to Formula D. I'm getting a kind of a vibe like that, where you play cards, saying how fast you want to go, and then once you hit corners, you have to worry about braking and then accelerating again. But looks really interesting. Anybody that's looking for a Formula One racing game. And then, so that has 16 days to go. So it still has till June 22nd to reach the rest of its funding. And then also the Hat Trick card game expansion, that has kind of slowed down. Although I'm hopeful that maybe once it hits the 48-hour mark, that's when reminders go out to people that have started the campaign but haven't backed it. So as you see, they're not even quite halfway to the goal of that. So if you guys have a chance to check that out, I did a review of the base game. Really great 2-player soccer game. Very interesting to play. Has some really great mechanics to it. It's a language independent game, so once you get the rules down, it's all just symbols. And this game looks to add a lot more to it, and putting individual teams. And actually, at some of the pledge levels, you can even create your own team if you'd like. And so you can see it's a really nice upgrade to the game, and hopefully it gets funded. But if it doesn't, the designer has already said that he has plans for a relaunch coming up. But maybe we can get a big push in that game, and that won't need to happen. So that actually ends this Thursday morning, about 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So that's what I'm following on Kickstarter right now. Haven't heard any new updates on Bottom of the Ninth in a while. So the Clubhouse expansion, so that I'm assuming is on track for its scheduled release. That's supposed to come out in February, of next year. And that's everything going on Kickstarter right now. Oh, there we go. Let's see. A couple more comments from Bob. Oh yeah, Baseball America would be nice. He's saying to have the Baseball America cards, the fictional set, have them get a treatment like this. I completely agree, Bob. That would be fantastic to see that. I would love for Baseball America to get a full color makeover. So maybe that's something that we can put a bug in Keith's ear about later, and see if that happens. Let's see. It's a reprint of the old 3M Speed Circuit. Oh, talking about Championship Racing. Okay. That's a game I'm not familiar with. Was 3M Speed Circuit a good game? Is it worth somebody doing a reprint of, bringing it into the 21st century? Let's see, because actually the only racing game that I still play is Red, White, and Blue Racings. Let's see, Mike says that he's waiting for History Maker Golf. Do I have a favorite tabletop golf game? There's been a couple that I've reviewed on the channel. and unfortunately none of them really grabbed me enough to keep in my rotation. So I really don't have a favorite one at this point. I'm gonna assume that History Maker Golf is gonna quickly vault up into my top 5 games, just because it utilizes the History Maker baseball game engine. So definitely looking forward to that, and something I can't wait to see on my tabletop and get a review out for you guys this fall. Um, let's see. Lack of tracks. Oh, okay. So Bob's talking about the Kickstarter for championship racing, saying that the lack of tracks is probably what's stalling the Kickstarter. So yeah, that could be. What was the latest update on that? I feel like they said that they were gonna do a couple more, but oh, it's not loading now. But yeah, I think that oh, they got 2 tracks. Okay, so it flips the board over. Yeah, so probably I can't imagine how much the cost would be to add a whole separate track game board on it. So I would assume that that's probably one of the hindrances of getting additional tracks. So maybe they're hoping to do something like the Formula D model, where you get the base game, and then they'll release expansions for it later. Because that Formula D has been around for a long time, and I feel like that gets a lot of traction even on Board Game Geek. A lot of people play that aren't sports games at all, or sports gamers at all. So let's see. What are my top 5 sports games? Mike Cravens wants to know. That's probably something I should do a video on at some point. I don't know. Is that something you guys would like to see? Maybe that's something this summer I can get out a top 5 favorite sports games. Definitely would be Replay Baseball would have to be in there, just because that's the game that got me into sports board games to begin with. Replay Basketball is still my favorite basketball game, so that would have to be on there. And then the top 3 are a clean sweep for Play.com. It'd be Red, White, and Blue Racing, second season football, and then History Maker Baseball would round out my top 5. And then, of course, they sort of maybe move around in rankings depending on what project I'm playing, but any of those 5 games I will at some point every year get out on my table, and those seem to be the only games that I do get out every year. And a game that I have to mention that would probably be at number 6 would be Bottom of the Ninth, from Dice Hate Me Games. I was just talking about their expansion that they just had out on Kickstarter, and one of the things that I love about this game is that I've gotten both of my girls to play this game. One's 6 and one's 2.5, and they like to play this game. One of the biggest reasons that they like it is that there's female baseball players in it. So they get a kick out of being able to to have girls on the table and play baseball, and and also, not to mention, talk about awesome card quality. These are just phenomenal, and they hold up so well to use and abuse. Like I said, I've had a 6-year-old and a 2-year-old playing with these cards, and you can see they still have pretty crisp edges, and but they definitely have that nice old baseball card feel, and it even comes with a stick of bubble gum in them, which is actually on the back of it has a tracker for keeping track of balls and strikes. So if you guys ever get a chance to check out Bottom of the Ninth, that's definitely a fun game, a fun little 2-player game. But although it does have a solo play available with it as well, that's going to be expanded in that latest set that's coming out. All right. Well, that was actually a really fast half hour. I didn't realize it was 9. So if there's any other questions, in the comments? I don't see any. So I'll wrap up. If another comment comes in while I'm wrapping up, then I'll answer that. Otherwise, stay tuned for the news tomorrow. I have some really great stories that I'll be covering, and then hopefully I'll get at least one playthrough video out this week of History Maker Baseball with the all-time franchise great teams. And I'll give you an update on where I'm at with Soccer City next week on the show. So, all right, guys. Thanks again, really, for everybody that left comments last week on my channel. That really meant a lot, and I'm very happy to get back here on sort of a normal schedule with my Monday night show. I actually look forward to this every week. I like these live conversations with the fans of the show. All right, so until next time, my name is Steve. Get out there, have fun, play games, and I'll see you after further review. Have a good night, guys.